Ellen DeGeneres has recently been the subject of online rumors questioning her public image. Following the tragic passing of Stephen Twitch boss, new discussions have surfaced. Reports claim his wife has started sharing her perspective on events that may have happened behind the scenes. These claims also mention alleged connections and hidden details, though none of this has been officially confirmed. Much of the conversation is based on speculation, and people are trying to understand what really took place.
Number 12. Twitch packed a small bag with only a change of clothes and his handgun, slipped out of his house without telling Allison, turned his phone to airplane mode so he couldn't be tracked, and took an Uber to the Oak Tree Inn, a dreary two-story motel in a hacienda-style building on heavily trafficked Ventura Boulevard, just a mile from his house, and paid $107 to reserve a room for a single night. Twitch made his way down to room 249 and let himself in. Allison reported to police that Twitch was missing shortly after he had left the house, noting with particular worry that she couldn't reach him by phone and he had not taken his car with him when he left, two things that she said were very much out of character for him.
Because there were no details about Twitch's death, people just rushed to fill that void. This was at the time when Ellen had built this edifice as the nicest person on television. She would have YouTube stars, and all of a sudden that edifice was crumbling.
Stephen Twitch boss was part of the Ellen DeGeneres show for more than 8 years and became a well-known face on the program. In 2022, the show faced serious criticism after reports claimed there were problems behind the scenes related to the work environment. Soon after, Ellen DeGeneres decided to end the show. Later that same year, Heish passed away after a car accident, and months after that, Twitch also died, which deeply saddened fans. Since then, some online discussions have suggested that he may have been under stress during that period. However, there is no confirmed evidence supporting these claims. Much of what is being shared is based on speculation rather than verified. There have been many serious claims online about Ellen DeGeneres, with some people saying the situation went beyond workplace issues. A few sources have even suggested possible connections to the deaths of Stephen Twitch boss and Heish, but there is no confirmed proof to support these claims. Around September 2024, reports mentioned an investigation involving Sean Diddy Combs. Shortly after that news, Ellen announced she was moving to the United Kingdom. Many people online began connecting these events, though these ideas remain unverified and should be treated carefully.
They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said, Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
You're really bad. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Ellen DeGeneres has been seen rocking a new hair color since moving to the UK. The comedian changed her signature blonde look to brunette as she was seen enjoying a night out with friends at a pub called The Farmer's Dog. Ellen went out with her wife, Portia de Rossi, and a few friends, including the Torn singer Natalie Imbruglia. Sources told TMZ earlier this week that Ellen and Portia moved to England because of Donald Trump's re-election. They have reportedly settled into their new home in the southwest region of England, but they purchased the property before the election.
Reports suggest that Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi have left the United States and moved to the United Kingdom. Several outlets claim the couple decided to relocate permanently and even listed their home in Montecito for sale. According to media sources, They have settled in a quieter, rural area in England and do not plan to return anytime soon. Some reports say their decision was influenced by the recent election results involving Donald Trump. Since Ellen has openly criticized Trump in the past, many people were not surprised by this move. Recent reports say Ellen DeGeneres has made noticeable changes since moving abroad. She was recently seen with a darker hair color instead of her usual blonde look while spending time at a local pub with her wife Portia de Rossi and a few friends. People quickly picked up on the change and began talking about it online. Sources have claimed that the couple decided to settle in the southwest of England. Although some say the move was influenced by the political climate involving Donald Trump, reports also suggest they had already bought the property before the election results. This has led to mixed opinions about their reasons for leaving the United States. Online discussions have become intense, with some people sharing personal theories about why Ellen chose to stay out of the spotlight. A few comments even suggested she was avoiding attention, though there is no confirmed evidence to support those ideas. There have also been rumors connecting Ellen to events involving Sean Diddy Combs. Some online voices have speculated about what Stephen Twitch boss may have witnessed during that time. However, these claims remain unproven and should be treated with caution rather than accepted as fact.
Let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
There is an old clip of Ellen DeGeneres joking around with a guest, showing a friendly and relaxed moment on her show. The conversation included playful comments, small jokes, and light teasing, which many viewers saw as normal entertainment. It reflected the casual style that made her show popular for many years. However, over time, different rumors have started to spread online about Ellen. Some of these claims suggest involvement in secret activities or unusual practices, while others try to connect changes in her appearance to those ideas. There are also stories circulating that attempt to link her to wider controversies involving Sean Diddy Combs. In addition, a past interview with Sandra Bullock has been taken out of context by some people online. Clips from that conversation have been shared with serious interpretations, even though many viewers believe the discussion was meant as humor and not something to be taken literally. It is important to understand that these claims are not supported by verified evidence. Much of what is being shared comes from speculation, edited clips, or personal opinions. While the internet often creates strong narratives, not everything should be accepted as truth without clear and reliable proof.
That happened.
Some people online have criticized Ellen DeGeneres for past moments involving younger celebrities. One example often mentioned includes Justin Bieber, where edited images were shown during an interview, which many viewers felt made the situation awkward and uncomfortable.
Symbolism will be their downfall. Or is it just art? And let me be the first to tell you, it's all connected. I mean, if you know, you know. But first, let's go back to that video of Ellen DeGeneres. When the camera turns, you can see the inside of her house. Now, see that picture right there? Well, if you pause it and look it up, it says evil thoughts with revenge right next to it. Here's another picture of Ellen in her house, and this is the picture behind her. Now, the thing I'm curious about is the letters on top of the picture. These look oddly similar to the letters Marina Abramovich writes out when she does spirit cooking. Remember the beginning of the video? It's all connected. And that person that was in all red is Lady Gaga, and she went to Marina Abramovich many times for teaching. But let's continue. This is another picture of Ellen in her home. She's cutting her mother's hair, but what is that picture above her head?
Look at it.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right?
a similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
But just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What?
Some online users have also pointed out unusual details in videos by Ellen DeGeneres. In early 2020, during lockdowns, she shared a clip wearing a hoodie with a red face design, which some later compared to something Jay-Z was seen wearing. A few people have also made claims about the design of her show's set, linking it to certain locations. However, these ideas are based on speculation and have not been confirmed.
Stem cell technology that Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go in and take it out.
It's painful, right?
Huh?
Is it painful?
Yeah, a little bit. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
No, you gotta be out of here, monkey.
You
You can get paid a lot more than that.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500 for, you know.
I'm prepared to outbid him anyway.
Whatever I bid, he's gonna outbid me.
I bought about $60,000 worth of eggs.
Yeah.
If you have a patient, that's very valuable. You know, umbilical cord, you know, placenta, you know, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. We regard it as waste, and it actually should be. It should be captured as recycled.
The recently released emails from the Epstein files show Jeffrey Epstein was interested in genetic medicine. He paid a researcher at Massachusetts General Hospital for tests that could be used to help create stem cells. Investigators found a $2,000 invoice from 2014 for sequencing part of Epstein's genome. The doctor that he paid also provided an estimate for personalized longevity studies that would use gene editing. He told investigators Epstein was enrolled in the Personal Genome Project at Harvard University.
Some supporters of these online theories claim that Ellen DeGeneres may have been involved in practices similar to those linked to Jeffrey Epstein and Sean Diddy Combs. These claims are based on unverified interpretations of alleged emails connected to Epstein's properties. Certain online figures, including Alex Jones, have discussed these ideas, suggesting secret activities involving stem cell use. However, these stories include very serious accusations that have not been proven or confirmed by reliable sources. It is important to treat such claims with caution, as they are largely based on speculation and internet discussions rather than verified facts.
A lot of people knew him as Twitch. Very two different humans. He wore this character of Twitch. It did become a part of who he was, but that extroverted personality was not natural for him. When he would go out as Twitch and make sure he's spreading all this love and joy and positivity and be dancing all the time for people, and it would drain his energy. You would have to come home, really recharge his battery. Yeah. That also comes with the state of depression because he would get really low. He showered people with love. Sometimes I wonder when he would receive so much love, he almost didn't think he deserved that love, so he'd give it right back. That's how much he loved people. I think he would just keep draining himself so much. It was just so on this roller coaster ride. You have to hold on to half your cup to that love that you deserved for yourself. Like what you guys saw on TV, it was a huge part of him. But the other side, it would take a lot to be there.
In the months leading up to the passing of Stephen Twitch Boss, many rumors about Ellen DeGeneres were spreading online. Some sources claimed that he was under pressure during that time, especially when it came to publicly supporting her. It has also been reported that his wife, Alison Hoker, later shared that he left behind a personal note. According to these claims, the message spoke about emotional stress and the weight of expectations placed on him. There are also stories suggesting he felt pushed to defend Ellen and help protect her public image. Some online discussions go further, saying he mentioned events involving powerful individuals and situations that made him uncomfortable. However, these claims are not confirmed by reliable sources. It is important to approach such sensitive topics carefully and avoid treating unverified information as fact.
We're learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left a suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Human beings are not designed to handle that much pressure. And when I was talking about my experience, his face was like, I know.
Allison Hoker has spoken about the difficult period faced by Stephen Twitch Boss, saying he was under emotional pressure for a long time. She suggested that the cheerful image people saw on screen was only part of his public role, not his full reality. Some online claims also say he felt uncomfortable in his professional environment and struggled behind the scenes. However, these statements remain unverified, and there is no confirmed evidence supporting them. It is important to treat such serious topics with care and rely on trustworthy information rather than rumors.
What is something you would like to say to Twitch? Like, what has he meant to
you? Hey, everybody. Everyone is in pain and trying to make sense of it, and we'll never make sense of it. And the holidays are hard, I think, anyway. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other, and play games and dance and sing.
Some online discussions claim that Stephen Twitch Boss may have felt pressure and wanted distance from problems he faced during his work period. Others believe his story was never fully shared. Meanwhile, Ellen DeGeneres later left the country quietly, which led to more public speculation. After the passing of Twitch, she shared a video expressing sadness, but reactions online remain divided. However, these ideas are based on rumors and not confirmed facts.
Over a decade ago, I met someone who changed my life and our show. And I'm talking about you, Twitch. Come here.
Ellen DeGeneres hired Stephen Twitch Boss for her talk show in 2014.
And I know it seems hard, it seems impossible, but that's how we honor him and hug each other and tell each other we love each other and let people know we're there for them.
Stephen Twitch Boss worked as the in-house DJ until the show ended earlier this year.
Is Ellen DeGeneres rewriting history? That's what some of her former staffers claim she's doing in her new Netflix stand-up special, For Your Approval.
I got kicked out of show business. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, because I'm mean. Yeah. Yeah, you can't be mean and be in show business. No, they'll kick you out.
She uses jokes to address the controversy.
I was in therapy for a while trying to deal with all the hatred that was coming at me, and at one point my therapist said, Ellen, where do you get this idea that everyone hates you? And I said, well, New York Times, Washington Post, Entertainment Weekly, Us Weekly. I think Elmo may have said something recently on an episode of Sesame Street.
But this producer who worked with her takes issue with how she's addressing allegations that there was a toxic work environment at her legendary talk show.
The essence of the special really was totally a lie.
Hedda Muscat says Ellen's special hits all the wrong notes.
I felt Ellen was not taking responsibility at all. She was sugarcoating it.
The Ellen DeGeneres Show went off the air after 19 seasons in May 2022, mired in controversy and including allegations of racism and sexual misconduct. Ellen addressed the allegations back in 2020.
And if I've ever let someone down, if I've ever hurt their feelings, I am so sorry for that.
In the special, Ellen describes the work environment she remembers.
It was a family to me. We had so much fun together at that show. We laughed all the time. We played games all the time.
I felt it was not a family, it was an atmosphere of fear.
Ellen DeGeneres recently released a stand-up special where she spoke about being cancelled and addressed past allegations against her. In the show, she joked about the criticism and did not show regret for her actions, instead focusing on how she was portrayed as being mean. Stephen Twitch Boss was not mentioned at all, even though earlier claims suggested he had written about his experiences in a personal note. Online viewers have since reinterpreted her past emotional apology, with many discussing it in a new and more critical way.
In May 2002, the Ellen DeGeneres show was canceled, and then 2 months later, Anne Hesh, Ellen's ex-girlfriend, was in a really bad car accident where she flew her Mini Cooper into someone's house and it caught fire. And what has never sat right with me is the cross comparison between the coroner's report and the actual aerial footage. The coroner's report says that she was unconscious until her death, after just from smoke inhalation and from being brain dead from the fumes in her brain. But if you look at the footage, she sits straight up, and that takes a conscious effort, I feel, but I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But the other thing is her other host, her co-host Twitch, died 4 months after that. And I just think that that's a suspicious amount of like close people around you dying in weird ways. But I don't know. Anyways, this is my driver. And I went to the Ellen show once, and she gave me Magic Mike Live tickets. Anyways.
Some online claims suggest that Anne Heche was working on a documentary before her passing. However, these reports are not confirmed. While official records mention she was unresponsive, some people online point to footage and question what they believe they see, though nothing has been verified.
This might be a bit controversial, but in the same way I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, and I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy.
You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor bum, but he was like you have that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip hop. Now, you can't turn on the television and not see the influence of hip hop.
That's right.
But the people who actually made that appropriate and are the forefathers are people like Sean Combs.
There is a growing discussion online about how some famous people can avoid consequences even when serious allegations appear against them. Many users feel that popularity sometimes protects celebrities from facing full accountability. Sean Diddy Combs has been at the center of multiple accusations and legal issues, and public opinion about him remains highly divided. Recently, Usher spoke in his support, suggesting that some things about Diddy may have been misunderstood. However, many fans strongly disagreed and pointed to past footage involving Diddy and Cassie Ventura as evidence that shaped their opinions. They argued that personal experiences do not change what has been shown publicly. The debate continues online, with people sharing different views about accountability, evidence, and celebrity influence.